friends, welcome to another episode of Killingly Public Library's craft videos. Today we're going to make some paper flowers, and I have a few that I've started and put in the vase here and just tied a little ribbon on it, and it can be quite pleasant on the table, on your nightstand, anywhere that you want to look at some flowers and you don't want them to die, and they're paper, so until you get tired of looking at them you can keep them, and then the best part, you can recycle them when you're done. So we will start today by tracing a circle onto your choice of colored paper. I just used a lid. This, I believe, is an oatmeal lid. It's about 5 inches in diameter. I think it was maybe a little less than 5.5 and a little more than 5.25, but it doesn't really matter. You could make smaller, larger. The different sizes would give you different size flowers. So I have just some light purple here, and we're going to fold the circle in half like so, and then we're going to fold it in half again like so. So you have kind of sort of a triangle. Take your scissors and just cut some slits down, and we're going to go all throughout the paper here. Just be careful not to get your ends too close to each other so that you cut out the petals. Worst case scenario, you got to start over with another circle. Okay, so I've cut all throughout, and now we're going to just take and kind of, you can round the corners a bit if you'd like, or you could make them pointed, but we're going to just cut each little corner off a little bit here like so, if you see that. Okay, I'm going to do each little strip. See, you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I've just kind of trimmed them all down a little. Now I'm just going to flip it over and do the other side so that I'm still cutting in the same direction. Okay, so they're all just, it's just to kind of shape them like a petal, that's all. Now we will unfold the paper. Be careful, if they stick together you could tear it a little bit, so you do want to, they are delicate, just like a real flower. So we've opened them up, and I'm going to take scissors and just snip from one end to the center, and it doesn't matter which, where you decide, just stop when you get to the center. Okay, so I have a little slit there. And I'm going to take a pencil. You could probably use the edge of the scissors as well. And I'm just going to pull gently and curl my petals under here like so. Okay, just kind of, just like curling ribbon, only we're curling paper. See how the petals are kind of all curving downward? I've curled them all. Now I'm going to take where my cut is here, and I'm going to start rolling up the paper, almost as if you were rolling it around the pencil or something, to kind of just roll it like a jelly roll, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it, sorry. We're just going to keep rolling the petals along, just kind of at the center here. And you can fan out the petals and kind of fill it out as you like. But there, we've got part of our flower. You can also glue a little bit of glue there if you'd like. I didn't glue any of those, but if you prefer to dab a little glue there to hold it in place, you can. Mine seemed to have rolled kind of tight, so I just didn't bother. And I'm going to set that aside. Now we will work on the inside of the flower. And I just chose to go with a darker purple. You want something that complements your flower petals, but is a contrasting color. I went with dark and light purple for this flower. I didn't use the same for any of these others that you can see there. I just took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and I just cut a strip right across the shorter side, the 8.5 side. You could certainly do a little shorter of a strip or a little longer. It really doesn't matter. I didn't measure any of those when I did them, but I was trying to make more accurate measurements to give you for the video. And this, I just did the width of the ruler. So it is about 1 inch wide. You could certainly go a little wider if you'd like. It depends what you want the center of your flower to look like. And we're just going to fold this in half. You don't have to, but it will be a lot less cutting if you do. And we're just going to take and cut little skinny strips from the top to, maybe 1/4 inch or so from the bottom. You don't want to cut all the way through. I've done that a couple of times, making them had to start over. But just little snips all along, and yeah, just some little snips all along the paper. So if you can see that, I've got it's kind of thin. I don't know, it's probably not the easiest to see on the camera, but that's what we've got. And it's as thin as you can make it, or as thick as you're comfortable with, and just keep cutting the whole length of the paper. So I finished cutting all the little slits in my paper, and I'm going to unfold it now. Maybe you can see them pretty good, I don't know, but they're all just skinny little slits there. And again, I'm going to take my pencil and just kind of give the paper a little shape. Okay, you can see, I think, how the paper is kind of curled a little bit. It's not a huge curl, not real noticeable, but it just gives it a little something. I'm going to use a toothpick now and curl the paper around the toothpick, at least to start, and then continue curling, rolling, whatever you want to say. So just use the toothpick as kind of a guide to begin, rolling it up just like you had rolled up the flower. See, I'm just rolling it up really, really tight. You want to roll it kind of really tight. And then I just kind of take the toothpick out and continue rolling just with my hands. So you can see I finished rolling the center of the flower up. I did lose a little piece. I just accidentally tore it. As delicate as you try to be, sometimes it happens. I am going to put a little bit of glue in the center of my flower, and I'm going to stick this inside. So I'm just rubbing some glue around the outside of this so that it will stick inside. So there's my flower together. Now I am going to cut a strip of this green paper for my flower stem. I know it's kind of light green, but it's what I had in my office, so I'm using it. If I could have picked any green I wanted, I might have gone with something a little darker, but I don't think it looks that bad. And I don't have a measurement. I'm just going to eyeball it, but let's see. I guess it would probably be something like maybe 3 inches or so. I'm just going to cut a strip right up on the paper. As you can see, I didn't measure it, so it's not a perfect straight line or anything. I'm not worried about that. And again, I'm going to use the toothpick just because I really want a tight roll, and I don't think I would get exactly what I want with my fingertips. But after I get it going, I'll just pull out the toothpick. So I'm going to start at the corner here at the bottom, and I'm just going to roll it around the toothpick and continue to roll. And I'm not rolling in a straight line. Oops. I'm not rolling in a straight line. I'm kind of going off to the side, kind of diagonal. You can see that. And now that I've got it going, I'm just going to pull the toothpick out. And so do you see how I'm going? And I'm just going to roll this. It'll be easier for me to set it on the table and continue to roll. And I'll pick it up and show you in a sec. See, I'm still rolling, and it's kind of making a stem now. Okay, you can see I have a flower stem now, and I am going to rub some glue on the very end and wrap it around. So I tore my paper. There. So I dabbed a little glue. It'll dry and hold it in place soon enough. I am going to take my scissors and make some slits at the top here. Just kind of cut into the top. I don't know, maybe like 5 or so slits. Yeah, I guess I made 4. So I don't know if you can see that at all, but then I'm just going to push it down so it kind of opens it up. So it'll be something like that. And the flower will go right inside, and then you can glue these up around the flower. So I'm just going to dab a little glue on there. And if you'd like, you could even dab some glue inside, but it's not necessary. But I am kind of getting glue everywhere anyway. And then we're just going to stick this in and push those little slit petals up and over, and it kind of holds the flower in place. See that? Isn't that really cool? So there's our flower. Now I want to make at least 1 leaf onto my stem. And for the leaves, I just had taken the paper and folded it kind of in half. And then on the fold, I just cut a leaf kind of shape like so. And you open it up and whoop, you got a leaf. I did give my leaves a little bit of texture and dimension. So when it is folded, this is totally up to you. You can do this or not do it. But when it was folded in half, I then accordion folded the leaf. So I started, it doesn't matter which end, and I folded it and then folded it back and fold it up like the accordion fold. Okay, see how it's all accordion folded, all nice and tiny. And then you can open it up and open it up again here and see what it looks like. And if you don't like that, then don't do it. And also, while it is folded, I took the very center here where the fold is, and I folded it really, really tiny over. Like the width of the toothpick, kind of. Just folded it over onto itself a little bit. I'll show you in just a sec. Can you see that? I folded it just a tiny smidge and just up and over itself on the leaf there. And then just open it up and it gives the center of the leaf a little more dimension too. So if you can see that. And you can dab some glue and stick it onto your stem wherever you would like. So I'm just putting the one leaf on for now. And if you want to make your flower shorter or longer for your vase, you can just snip off a little bit at the bottom and just stick it in your vase with the rest of your flowers. And if you'd like, you can also take and just cut a real thin strip of your green paper. Add some little frills to your vase. Just take and curl it just like as if you had some curling ribbon. Wrap it around your pencil and give a little, oops, there we go. Just stick it in your flower vase. Add a little bit of something. There you go. Some cool little paper flowers. I hope you have fun making them. Get creative with all kinds of colors and sizes even. Try some different sizes. I made all of mine with the same size lid. Maybe try some different size circles. But just have fun with it. I'd love to see your finished flowers. I bet they're going to be so beautiful. Please share at info@killinglypl.org. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in another one of our craft videos. Have a great day.